A very good morning to our lecturer Ponfaidam Binti Jamil. My name is Harish Krishna Reddy. My team members Jesara Shanaki Edward, Darwin Danraj Kadirvelu, Kishan Rao Anaki Ramarao. Today we'll be presenting our project 2, which is Lovely Health, Trust in the Best. We have already finished our project 1 and we have already done our proposal. So now we are continuing with project 2. Okay, this is today's presentation content. We have 4, which is system analysis, design diagram, interface design, and individual components. Okay, first we're going to start with system analysis. In system analysis, we can divide it into 2, functional requirement and non-functional requirement. What is functional requirements? What a system is supposed to do is defined by its functional requirements. A function can be defined as a collection of inputs, outputs, and behavior. What is a non-functional requirement? Non-functional requirements do specify how a system is supposed to function efficiently, which achieving the goals that need to be achieved by the system. Functional requirements. For example, user system, where I can say system. What are their functional requirements? The system must be able to register new members successfully. The system should allow employee or admin to view and register patients' appointment. The system must be able to update appointment schedules. The system must allow users to book an appointment. The system shall be able to process payments done by patients. The system shall be able to generate a bill for patients. The system must allow user to provide feedback and employee or admin to review the feedback. For employee and admin, what is the function requirements? The employee or admin shall be able to add, delete, and update appointments on the website. The employee or admin shall be able to add, delete, and update doctor availability on the website. The employee or admin able to update patient's bill. The employee or admin able to upload digital certificate. For patients, you can see that patients shall be able to browse through application. Patients shall be able to book an appointment. Patients shall be able to give feedback for the services. Patients able to do transactions through online. Patients able to view digital certificate. Now I'll pass to my team member, Darwin Danraj.
Okay, non-functional requirements. As we have seen, it is non-functional. It is not going to function, but it is important for a system. For an example, properties such like speed. Speed is to measure the system should be able to process function faster for normal accessibility. Let's say the admin want to book for a walk-in interview and she is clicking on something, and if it takes more than 10 minutes, it's better for her to do in traditional method. So the system should speed up the process, not prolong it. And ease of use. Admin able to see details and operate easier as it is designed not to be complicated. So it is easier for them to use and easily applicable as well. Reliability. The website is available to access 24 hours anytime and whenever it is needed without any problem faced. The online payment method should also make the users patient gain trust to make payment, and it should reflect in the system in real time. Let's say they are using online payment method, but it shows the duration after several minutes, which might have some curiosity and make the patients to feel unconfident in using the system. So it should reflect in real time, and it also should have some security so that none of the hackers could steal the credit card information, the PIN number, and so on. So it should be reliable in our system. And portability. The application from the user end side of the patient can be accessed from anywhere, but admin employee that has access can only use privileged admin features. As you can see, user end side, they're able to communicate from anywhere, from house, from library, from another hospital, another public places, and so on, even from their device of handphone, Apple iOS, and tab as well. So it should be portable so that it would make them feel secure and easy to use the system. So now let me pass it to Let me explain ERD first. Okay, login. Okay, the user will key in the login with login ID, login username, and user password. And the admin also would have user ID, user email, and username when they are using the admin system. So admin would supervise the management. So management would have overall report and slot report, slot availability, payment report, and operation hours. Doctor. Doctor would have doctor name stated in the system and doctor ID, which is important, and doctor on duty and doctor specialty. By doctor, doctor would store the data storage. Data storage would have patient ID, patient payment details, feedback report, patient booking, digital NC, and patient report. So it would store under doctor upon consulting, and all those reports will be managed by management at the end with the overall report, and slot availability, and so on. So the admin would supervise all of it by viewing it. Now over to you, Jason, for further explanation.
Thank you, Darwin. Now we'll continue with context diagram. So, context diagram. Patients will be entity. So from patients, there will be few data flows to Lovely at website. First, login or sign up details, then patient's info, slot booking, and payment. Same goes from Lovely at process box. It will be data flow translation receipt to patients. From Lovely at process, there will be report details to management. From management, there will be report info back to Lovely at process. So that's the overall of context diagram. Next, next will be level 0 data flow diagram. So as you can see, this will be the data flow diagram for our system. First, patients. From patients, there will be new patient as a data flow to process box add patient. From add patient, that will continue to validate new patient. Then once it validate, it will it will be stored in new patient record. So the patients now can log in. So as from patient, login details will be flow in to login. From login, the login details will be stored in login record. And same from login, the next process will be select service doctor. From select service doctor, it goes to slot availability. From slot availability, it goes for check operation hours. As you can see, slot availability and check operation hours will be stored. The details will be stored in system management box, and the data flow is in and out. From check operation hours, it will continue to book slot. Book slot will be stored in book slot record. From book slot record, it will generate to next process payment. From payment, the payment details will be recorded in payment record. From payment record, it will generate to report. From report, it will goes to view payment record, which can be viewed by admin. Same goes the report view recorded slot also can be viewed by admin. So in the end, the report uh, can be flowed to Lovely at management. The process is in and out. Now I continue. I pass to Kishan for interface design.
Thank you, Jason. So, a very important part of this will be interface design. So now I would like to show the interface design. So for a general understanding on what is interface design is the UI design that makes and for us to make an easier way for the customers, I mean users, or even the admin to go. So let me show you the first, that will be admin page. Okay, so as you all can see, we have our logo. Okay, we have the home. This is the menu button, and this will be the login, and this is the welcoming page. And doctors on duty, we will be showing what are the who are the doctors on duty and what are the timing, so that they can have their when the users, or because this is admin, they will have an clarification who is coming, who is on duty and what timing and all those things. And next would be for them to get in touch for what time they should come in and all those things. And they also can subscribe by giving their name and email to us, and their info site and here, and this is by Lovely Health, as we all know. So next I'll go to the next menu, that will be booking. Okay, so booking schedule. So from here, in booking schedule, there will be once the patient has booked them from the user page, all the details will be in here, if who are booked, who are not booked, if there's no one available, and all this for the admin for them to check. And next would be digital MC. This is one of the important thing that we have implement on here. There will be medical certificate that is on digital. So they just have to uh, press on this, and they would get their medical certificate. So once it's attached, and they just have to go and submit which patient's medical certificate, and it will directly goes into the user's page. And next would be payment details. So once you have they have done the payment, they just have to press this, and you will get all the payment details, who have done the payment, what time they have done the payment, and all those things are here. Okay, so for a simple way. And next would be feedback. For admin to give us feedback if there is any kind of issues, what we can improve on this website. And also walk-in booking, this is additional that we have put in to make paperless and all those kind of easy way, is to have what are they can walk in and also directly book here if they forget to book through the website. And finally, that I forgot was admin login. So once you have pressed admin login, we have given that option of sign up with email, sign up with Google, or you can sign up with an email address, Google, Gmail, or any email would do. So that is basically as general of the interface design of the page. I think it's way easier, and let's check out on the user interface that will be taken over by Darwin.
Okay, thank you, Kishan Rao. Okay, an idea is easy to think, better to be implemented, but we have to be practical for user to use it, because they are the end product. If they're facing so many difficulty, they won't prefer to use it as well. So we have done our part to minimize how are the difficulties they're gonna face, and we have done with a website that particularly for the customers. As you can see, the URL clearly states that Lovely Health Customers. So this is particularly for customers. Okay, the branding. The logo is there for Lovely Health Clinic and welcome to Clinic Love Health. Your health, our love. This branding plays a major role in branding the Love Health Clinic, because it stays in mind of the patients who are going to visit this website so often. If it is kind of uninteresting and so on, the people won't come into, and it won't be stays on their mind for a longer time.
So as we can see above home, it is home page basically, and we also have digital MC, payment, book online, feedback, and login as well. Let's go below it to explore home page first of all, and later I will come on to the login. So the doctors on duty. So as you can see, there are name of the doctors and where the place they graduated from, together with what are they are specialized in, and the most important part, duty timing. So it clearly gives a space for users to select which doctor they want and what duty timing they could book in. I mean, the slot timing they could book in to visit this doctor particularly. So it is more kind of information theory in here so that they're able to choose whenever the doctor they prefer. Okay, below. Okay, get in touch, because if the system is having an issue and so on, so they could email it into the info@mysite.com, and they also have phone numbers so they can call into and inform us particularly what their issues are facing on, so that we can make changes, and they also can find us from Facebook as well. So now let's jump into login. So login, we also can sign up from Facebook and Google and email as well. As you are already a member, you can log in straightly so that you can do it. Okay, now let's go into next. Okay, digital NC. So particularly we are so keen on this thing to make our earth our home, as well as maintain it for our future generation. So particularly we have to reduce the papers. So digitally, medical MC has been used as in paper for so long, and we have to bring this revolution in medical industry to introduce digital medical certificate. If you are using a medical certificate, take a picture and upload it in a system of a company that you are working, or want to send it to institution that you are studying. Why don't we introduce a digital MC so that you clearly can store it after downloading it and upload it back in the system as well? So this is the medical certificate. For example, Miss Sharon has her file, but when she wants to download it, she has to key in her patient ID. So for now, let me show without the patient ID, because I have to show some samples to you. So these are the medical certificate. It will be signed by the doctor, and it would have their name stated in it, and it is an example for right now, so to show you. But when you are implementing it in real life, it would have patient ID so that other patients won't able to see what are the cause you have come into the clinic and personal disease and so on. It would be so confidential at the moment. So let's jump into payment. Okay, World Health Organization has clearly stated that a coronavirus could stay on money currency paper at least for 28 days. Depends on the situation, but 28 days on average. So if the currency already have been a place for coronavirus to live on, so it is not applicable for exchange to another person and so on. So we need to introduce online payment method. So online payment method, we are introducing Visa, MasterCard, and others, PayPal and so on, and they're able to pay and benefit from this and so on. So online payment method is more convenient for them to pay, and we able to process it in real time so that they won't face any issues. And in meanwhile, you also have a cyber security team so that their personal information in credit card and PIN and so on won't be leaked to any others, such as hackers, so you don't have to be afraid there would be a leakage on black market and dark web and so on. So now let's jump into book online. The main feature we have included in our system. So if we are visiting a clinic, we basically spends more time on waiting for another patients to go in, and the doctor would give definitely a great service with advisors and how do the medicine works and what are the side effects that would cause and so on. So it majorly takes about 30 to 40 minutes. So if we are waiting for another 2 or 3 patients, it's gonna be so long for 1 hour 30 minutes and so on. Imagine a worker going into a company after the work. He wants to visit the clinic due to his feeling sick and so on. If he have to wait so long, it is a wastage of time. So we are implementing this book now service, particularly for the time slot. Which doctor do you prefer? So this is the space for you to book your slot, and upon booking, it would have send you successfully booked a message to you in notification, so you can do it through any ways and so on, from your phone, from your tab and so on. Even you are working in your companies, when your rest time, you can able to book in. As you can see, the money have stated in there as well. Okay, this is how the book online works. And feedback. Feedback is so important for us because a system should adapt to the changes in upcoming days, upcoming modern technologies. Technologies do change every day as systems do change, and humans also expecting systems to be so efficient and should make life more easier and reduce the time. So book online features has reduced the time, and digital medical MC have create a safer space and so on. But we need more feedback so that we can introduce more feature and how we can improve on our system as well. So this is the space. So the patient able to key in their name, last name, email and phone number and rate together with feedback. So they're able to send the feedback for major updates we are gonna do in the future as well. We are going to maintain the page as well. So this is how, and below it at homepage, okay, below it, below. Okay, there are name and email. Upon subscribing in it, you would get newsletters, which is particularly like an article for your health and so on. So you will receive in your email and you're able to update your knowledge about health. Yeah, seeing the article newsletters from your email itself. So better to use this lovely health customer feed online website, register yourself and be a good knowledgeable person in your health, as well as reducing time and having an efficient healthcare service in staying at your home itself, at anywhere itself. Now over to you. So now over to individual components. It would be presented by Harish, if not I'm mistaken. So he will.
Yes, Darwin, you're not wrong. It's by me. So I'll be continuing from here. Thanks, Darwin. Okay, now we'll be seeing about individual components. And first, I will start with observation. What is observation? Observation is, during this project, our web design has been designing interactive elements, build more dynamic software for the web page context, and carries out extensive competitive analysis to determine website goals. He also makes sure that the web designer achieves the aim of this project. He works parallel with the team to always make sure that every input inserted in the website is suitable for the website's purpose. Basically, this team has been very productive since the designing process of this website from start. The main aim of this observation is to help the management to organize their data and information. By organizing, the management get to divide their data and information into the sector, for example, account sector, admin sector, and etc. Therefore, our web designer has been precise and careful during this web designing. In this case, the privacy data will be shared for the sectors which are handling. Moreover, it is to make sure there would be no data leakage occur in the future. Thus, the management and user will be comfortable and feel secure when accessing this website. Okay, next is the advantage and disadvantages of this one. What is the advantages of observation? The web designer would have time to review and revise the website. It enables the management to coordinate their data effectively. It allows the web designer to evaluate the task accomplished. The user feels safe and secure using this website. It will be less complex than other approaches. Next is disadvantages. What is the disadvantage? In some circumstances, this may be impractical. The web designer may have biased opinion about the website that was created. Any task may or may not be completed in the same manner. When designing, the management may or may not act accordingly. Certain data can be neglected by the management. Okay, conduct of this investigation method. Who requires to be observed? The user, admin, and management has to be observed. What requires to be observed? Both records and data are stored by the administration. User information, payment information, reports, and so on are critical components that must be examined. Where does the observation occur? The observation should be carried out on the Clinic Love Health website. At what time the observation should be carried out? The observation should basically keep arranged during peak hours for the best result. This will be beneficial because user and management will be able to interact with the system in numerous ways. Okay, summary of the observation performed. Observation is a method for accessing a user's function in a particular or non-specific content by observing as they perform their job. In observation, the object of observation is to analyze the environment and pattern of an approach that is based on their knowledge. This approach is used where standard process has been tracked at target point. It is regarded as participatory study in which the web designer must include them in the development and editing of the website. Observation can be organized and or unstructured, depending on the process used to gather the data. Structured monitoring, also known as a formal observation, is gathering of knowledge that will be carried out using particular variables and according to a predetermined timetable. Unstructured observation will be carried out without a set timetable with no predetermined goal in mind. The observation approach is the best used while complex operation has to be observed. The next goal to improve a procedure. Nonetheless, management can feel a little overwhelmed when explaining the specification of the website. This approach can be carried out in two ways: passive observation and active observation. Passive monitoring, also known as invisible observation, is performed in situations where subjects may not be communicating with others, such as staff, during the observation. A web designer will take notes. Furthermore, the designer will be posing questions such as, following the observation, ask a follow-up question from a compiled list of questions. The manager may ask some questions to the web designer and his team. Active observation, also known as obvious questioning, occurs when the observation asks questioning during the observation process and on occasion joins the task is being performed at the present. And now I would like to pass it to Mr. Jason Raj.
Thank you, Harish. Now I will continue with the second individual components, that is document review. Document review is a method of acquiring data that involves studying documents or range of accessing sources to get independent verified data and information. A researcher should analyze accessing documentary of capable, comparable business process or system to extract information that is important to that project, and as a result should take it into account of that project requirements. An organization document could be internal or external. Next. So, so as you know, there are advantages and disadvantages for each individual components. As for document review, there are some pros and cons. So we have slot down few advantages and disadvantages. First, advantages. It is possible to detect issues that have been overlooked by prior studies. So, before this, those documents, when we review the old documents, we can come up with a technique to overcome the issues. Next, cheap to carry out since there are online tools. So document review, there's no need to go out and buy anything. We just can go for online. They are fully online based right now. Next, document evaluation can be done alone without requiring a large amount of help from outside resource. Disadvantages. The information gathered could be out of date or inaccurate. This is because those documents are maybe old. So right now the world have been changing day by day. So the technologies have been changed. So those documents can't be used to refer right now. Next, the paperwork may not contain relevant information to particular project type that we be doing. Next, operating and analyzing requirement paperwork takes a significant amount of time. Uh, the, this is because to review a document it takes lots of time. So it's a consider it would be a waste of time sometimes because uh, particular document may not uh, tally with our assignment project type. Next, questionnaire. Questionnaire is also part of individual components. Questionnaire are another effective fact-finding technique for gathering data from a wide number of participants. User complete the question posed by the web designer and then return the response to the system analyze. Questionnaire may save time so that the designer may not have to ask each person individually, and if the interview period is limited, questionnaire is more effective. A web designer should be able to be accurate, identify the configuration and frame of questions to meet the criteria of system goal. Next, next. So the advantages and disadvantages. So what are the advantages? First, data collection is easy. Questions are inexperienced experience can attack a wide number of participants, delivery standardized result quickly, help from uh, help from outside resources. Disadvantages, there are few options for response. The question content is unclear, difficult to interpret questions. So that's all from me. Now I pass to Darwin.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, as you can see that Jason have explained about questionnaires in just common ways. So we have done it particularly to our system. So we have done via a Google form. So the system evaluation of Lovely Health. It requires name, and there were 82 responses when we are asking about these in the questionnaires. Let's go through what is it, what are the questions was asked, and how was the response of the participants. Okay, first of all, we asked what is the profession of these responders. So there were 65.9% students and 22% of workers, and others were self-employed and others are unemployed. So basically when we are seeing this, we have shared them our link address of customer and of user, so they're able to use it and just tell what are the difficulties they're gonna face and so on by they are attending this Google form. So as we can see, 65.9% are students because they are more known for these digital devices, and they are also prioritizing their health as well. And 22% are workers because of workers are going into the companies, and upon doing all the works they are feeling tired to go into a clinic when they are not even feeling well and have to wait for long hours. So they voluntarily did tried our system at here. Next. Okay, have you used our website? So 82 responses there say that 86.6% have said yes, and 13.4% has said no, indicating one-time usage is not practical to judge how our website is, and they are not satisfied by using it just for once. It should be more practical to use in upcoming days so that they can give more good verdict and more accurate verdict to us. Next. So we have asked how would they rate the overall system. There are 64.6%, which is 53 people have said that it's very good, indicating 5 stars, and 29.3%, which is 24% responses have said that it's good, and 6.1 percentage have given the verdict of average. It states that our system has been good for 64.6%, have given very good because of its feature and so on. So next. So how did the find booking system work in the system? First of all, our client has come into us because they find that on peak hours there are lots of patients, lots of crowds, and at non-peak hours there are no patients at all. So to manage this, we should have an efficient booking system that able to the enable user to book itself from their place itself, because it would reduce the cost of transportations, and crowding and so on would be avoided, and it would be a safer implement to implement social distancing as well in clinic. So we have come with booking system, but how did they find? Let's see. So 41 people have said, given the verdict of 50%, 50% is equal to half of the responses. So they have stated that very good, and 36.6% have stated good, and 13.4% have said average. So it means that we can improve more on this booking system work, and we would definitely, with this kind of responses, we would work more on the system, and we would increase the very good percentage after this. Next. Okay, how did they find digital medical certificate feature did help them? Okay, digital medical certificate is new for everyone, because in nowadays none of the human resources uh, in their company would ask for a traditional paper kind of medical certificate. They have to capture it and transfer it to a website that the company has owned. So basically, we think that why don't we make a revolution in digital medical certificate? It is new, then how are they going to adapt to it? Let's see to this. And 63.4% given a whooping, a very good verdict in this. And 29.3% have stated good as well, and 7.3% have given average as well. It means that digital medical certificate was the solution for most of them they need in this era. And let's move on to next. Okay, how useful is online payment system to them? Because of everything has been done even in online. Even you are able to see objects via online and purchase them and so on. So why don't we introduce an online payment system for consultation in clinic? So it is also safer way, as we are not exchanging the currency notes and it won't spreading virus and so on. So 59.8% have given verdict of very good, and 32.9% have stated it as good, and 7.3% have given average. We have associate with PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and other debit cards also. In future, we are planning to even implement it with Touch and Go and Shopee Pay and Grab Pay and so on. We are introducing it in future. We are talking with our clients soon, and we would definitely upgrade it. And the 7.3% who have given the verdict of average would might get lower when we are introducing it to our customers when we are implementing this website. Okay, next. Okay, are we environmental friendly? First of all, we are reducing the peppers and so on. So nowadays people are more cautious on environmental friendly, and we have to create a earth for future generations as well. So 64.6% have said yes, we are very good and we are very good in implementing environmental friendly, and 30.5% have said good, and 4.9% have said average on this. Okay, do you think overall system would make users' life more easy? 82 responses. And this main cause of a system is to make users' life more easy, admin life more easy, more manageable, more oriented and scheduled, and so on. So as we can see, we 100% have achieved the goal of the system, which is users believe this as it would make clearly life more easier for all of the users out there using Lovely Help customer app. So it is clearly states that our team hard work has not gone without any benefits. So we have put our hard work and it did pay off. Next. Okay, questionnaires, there were feedbacks, good ones. So let me read some of it. It's very smooth, which makes the whole experience more comfortable and hassle-free. And it is very convenient for us of the society to use and straightforward. Overall, great and simple system. Okay, and overall really helpful, would definitely try again. It was a great system. It made me to understand quickly and make my things easier, which is basically our goals in achieving something. And yeah, there are more feedbacks, but I'm not gonna seize more time on this. So let me pass it to Kishan. Kishan, you can take over.
Thank you so much, Darwin. I think that was a great explanation on the feedbacks and all those things. And now let me go into interviews. So interviews is the most popular method for gathering details from face-to-face conversation is an interview. For contact between system administration and client, the interviewing approach necessitates strong communication skills. So I think this is very basic need of we need to do an interview and all those kind of things rather than also from Google. This is one of the most oldest thing I would say for us to go with. And next is the interviews. What are the advantages and disadvantages? So more details can be obtained from the interviewer. Yeah, because it's face to face, we can ask more questions, more in-depth questions. So the depth and clarification about the query. So as I told you, the depth where it is face to face, we can't how to say, we can't push them and ask more questions through when it is online or anything. So when face to face is different. So resolving questions, misunderstanding, like when they have a different perspective of looking at the questions, we can give them and breakthrough of it and can be involved in reality, and that is the main thing, involving in reality. So disadvantage interview are costly in time because we need to save a lot of time, so that will be a major disadvantage. And interviews has a high risk. Okay, so and then possibilities of a biased response, yeah, because we are face to face, they might think, okay, what would they say if we respond to them in such a way. And interviews this requires a lot of skill. Yeah, definitely the interviewer or the interviewing person needs and lots of skill, and it is impossible to recreate the interview when once they have given. If we want an interview again, it's very difficult, very difficult for us to get back. So these are the disadvantages. So, and interviewers for questions for admin website. So, what type of features will make your job easier? How would you like the payment to make patients to make payments, cash or online? What type of features would you like to have on the website? Do you require insight into the website? Would you like would this website be helpful for you? These are the very basic and general that we can ask for admin, and finally the interviews for the users. So what type of features would you like to see on the website? Because they are the people who are going to use it, so we need to ask them. And what type of user interface would be more convenient to use to them? So for them to use, we need to show them and samples and all those kind of things. And do you prefer to play through online method? Because if we are now into 21st century, but there will be older people who might think, why should I play online? Because online payment has been a different thing. And do you prefer booking online? As I said again, the same method on previously. And how much time do you spend waiting at the clinic? And do you prefer digital medical certificate or a paper medical certificate? So these are another general questions to ask from the users. So I think that's it from us. We have summarized on very clearly on how previously on how we are going to bring this website to now we have this website, and how is it going to efficiently work for the company that hired us. I think based on the interface, everything has been a clear way of how simple will it be, how easier can it be done. So from here, I would like to thank you for spending the time and listening to our pitching, I would say, for our project too, and looking upon our interface and all those things, and what kind of interviews, questionnaires, all has been done. So thank you from the team, myself, Darwin Danraj, Harish Krishna Reddy, and Jason Raj. Thank you.